Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation. My name is Sanni and my other group members are Luca, Ondrej and Rosa. Our topic is leadership in conscious and responsible digital communication among young people. Now I'm going to talk about the current situation. Today we live in a world that is more and more connected, where every part of our lives go through digital tools. If not used in the right way, these technologies can become tools of dislike and miscomfort. In our group, we thought a lot about those possible innovative solutions to promote conscious digital leadership, focused on building positive relationships instead of just looking for visibility or approval.
Communication has become easier but more dangerous. Internet is available to most people, especially young people. More than 60% of teenagers aged 13 to 19 have seen episodes of cyberbullying, hate speech, or online discrimination. Many of these situations happen on social media, where people often feel like they are in a position of power just because they are behind a screen. The real problem, however, is indifference, especially when people share or laugh at offensive content without thinking about the consequences. In our opinion, true digital leadership means having the courage to stop, reflect, and help educate others. Educating for digital leadership. How can we promote positive digital leadership among young people? Social media workshops with real life scenarios and simulations, talks with experts in communication and cyber psychology, peer lead projects to create digital charters for online communities, media literacy, and fact checking courses to spot fake news and stay informed.
Well, after having explored the current scenario of the digital communication among the young people and having identified some actions to promote a digital leadership innovative, it's arrived the moment to put ourselves to the test with a small game. Simple but useful to fix the concepts just faced. The game consists in trying to understand which news, according to us, are true and which instead are false. To help us today, there is Andrew, our special player.
Hello, my name is Andrew and I'm very interested in the game.
So Andrew, you have just listened what we are going to do. Now I will read to you some newspaper headlines and you, based on your experience and intuition, will have to tell me which seems to you news based on real facts and which instead appear invented. At the end of the game, we will compare together the correct answers and we will see some skills useful to recognize the news true from those false. Let's start. So, the first news is Finland builds world's first underground city to survive extreme winter. What do you think about the news?
Okay, I think the first one is wrong. It's fake news because Finnish people are used to with the extreme winter, so they don't need to build underground city to survive.
Okay, Andrew, the second news is Japan to release treated Fukushima water into the ocean. What do you think about this news?
I think, in my opinion, it's false also because I don't think that any country will release some contaminated substance into the ocean.
Okay, Andrew, the last question is Italy bans pineapple on pizza national by law. What do you think?
I think it's also false because I think this is only slogan by every other countries except of Italy.
Now, Andrew, we are going to see which of these news are actually true and which instead not. The first news is fake, as you said. Even though the Helsinki has a large network of tunnels and underground shelters, there isn't an underground city built to survive to the cold winters. The second news is surprisingly true. In fact, the Japanese government has started releasing treated water from the Fukushima nuclear plant into the ocean. Naturally, this was done only after getting approval from the International Atomic Energy Agency. The third news is clearly false. It's about a common joke online. No such law exists. Okay, Andrew, now let's look together which could be some simple but effective advice to recognize the fake news from the true ones. Because being a leader also means sharing correct information and spreading the truth. Here are some simple tips to help you to recognize fake news. First, it is important to check the source. So, it's important to make sure the news comes from a trusted and well-known source. It is also very important to check who is the author of the article. Secondly, it is very important to read behind the title. This is because often the title serves to get clicks, so it is important to read also the content. It is then very important also to see if the article there are present support sources to sustain the thesis. If present, it is important to read them carefully. It is also important to look at the tone. Very emotional or shocking titles may be a sign of fake news. Finally, it is important to read the news with impartiality and without letting oneself be influenced by personal thoughts. If there is some doubt, it is important to ask to someone who could be more expert than us. Okay, Andrew, I hope that the game could have been useful to you and that you have learning something new.
So I would like to thank you for the game, Luca. It was really benefiting for me, and I think I will recognize the news even better. Because of that, I would like to conclude what we have learned today. From our point of view, communication today is fast, but often lacks depth and kindness. We also think that digital leadership encourages respectful, empathetic, and ethical dialogue. And about leaders, true leader listens, moderates, and builds unity, even if it's online. From that, we see that real life and digital life are connected. In our world, we need young leaders who choose words that educate, not harm, and who respect the dignity of every person. Thank you for your attention.